Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing my favorites video. And it's not favorites of like just all brand new makeup, just favorites of 2024 in general. Stuff that I noticed I gravitated towards a lot, things that created some of my favorite looks. Some things might be new and I'll leave those towards the end. And when I say new or might be new, like they're new to me. We're gonna start with, I guess, primer, and I only really have one, and that's the Saie Super Glowy Gel. This is in the one Star Glow. I took it out of the jar. It's a repurchase. I've gone through several minis of both Star Glow, Warm Glow, and there's another one. Star Glow is my favorite, even though they all look the same on me. Star Glow's like, I don't know, it's my favorite one. If you haven't used it or purchased it, it's not like a need. I have super dry skin, sensitive skin. This doesn't break me out. When I want that extra glow, I like using this. Or if I want extra moisture, because I find it moisturizing, I also use this. This will get repurchased at some point in 2025. But there's still some in here. And once I can't pump it out anymore, because it still pumps out, I will cut it and scoop it out with my fingers. Foundations. I went from being a no foundation girl, like I would do my full face of makeup with no foundation, to wearing foundation. Which just made me think of something. I'm missing a category. Here we go. I just need one thing for... There's one category where I just need one thing for. And then I also have the realization... One sec. That my favorite eyebrow pencils are not here. Darn it, man. Because I have several favorite eyebrow things. Sorry, here am I ill-prepared. Okay, this one. Okay. This should be fine. Alright, I'm back. I'll just have to tell you guys about two of my favorite eyebrow products, but I ran out. Plus, I tossed some because I had the wrong colors and I just didn't get around to rebuying the proper shades. So, for foundations, we have the e.l.f. Soft Glam. This one did come out this year. And again, like I said, I went from not wearing foundations, and it was mostly because I felt like no matter what foundation I put on, I could always see it. It would be sticking to dry patches and stuff like that. But I come to learn you got to take care of your skin. At least I do if I'm going to wear foundation. e.l.f. Soft Glam Satin Foundation. I'm in the shade 13 Fair Neutral. I do have a backup of this one. Because this one's just about gone. And this one's like, even though it's like satin, it doesn't look dry on me, but it's also not glowy. It's literally satin. It looks good. It's probably, yeah, top 3. Second one, Missha Perfect Cover BB Cream. I have shade number 21. This has SPF in it, has a pump, and I also really like this one. I feel like it looks really nice on my skin, and it leaves me nice and glowy. I do like glowy foundation. I like glowy skin. And then the third pick is the L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable Foundation. This one is the Hydrating Hyaluronic Acid one. And I have the shade 2.5N Neutral. Really like this one. This one feels like you don't even have anything on your face. It's like so lightweight, so thin. A little goes a long way. I do have other foundations, but I didn't want to hold them out and say they're all my favorites. If I could only pick 3 from what I have, it's these are my top 3 foundations. And of course I have others, but again, I'm not going to pick them all out. I don't have a concealer, because I only have one concealer that I do use when and if I want to wear concealer, and I don't use it every day, so I didn't really see the point in me hauling concealer out. I used to have a couple, but I think I got rid of some. So for face powder, I do have a couple, but I feel like the one that I do like the most is the Rimmel Kind and Free Translucent powder. Just looks like this. It's like $5 at Walmart. And I just like using a nice big fluffy brush and putting it everywhere. I've said in a previous video that at first I didn't really think setting powders did anything until I actually like started using them, and I feel like they do work. Should I take my glasses off so you guys aren't... If I need to read something, I'll put them back on. I do need these to see because I am legally blind. I'll just put them up there. If I forget where they are, I'll have to revert back to this video. But yes, I have water. Eyebrows. So, don't start saying so every 2 seconds. Anyways. e.l.f. and Essence both have really good eyebrow pencils, like the twist up ones. Well, Essence has the wooden pencil eyebrow. What's it called? Eyebrow Designer pencil. You sharpen it, and that's one of my favorite pencil eyebrow products. I had the wrong shade. I felt like it was pulling too orange, so I decluttered it. I have not, and even though like I went through multiple of the wrong shade, I decluttered the last one after trying some other brow products with shades that looked like they looked better. I just never got around to repurchasing the e.l.f. Eyebrow Designer pencil. I want to and I need to, because it's a good one. And then the other one is the did I say e.l.f.? Okay, it's Essence Eyebrow Designer wooden pencil. And I think I need like a soft brown shade. And then the e.l.f. is the e.l.f. Well, you know what? I'm gonna have to Google it. Okay, can I use your phone for a sec? Please? I'll just use Matt's phone right for a quick second. No, I did not prepare for this video. I dug things out, but I forgot to look up the 2 brow pencils so I could show you guys. I don't edit my videos, and I never will edit my videos. Thank you. The e.l.f. makeup. e.l.f. eyebrow pencil. Here we go. It's the e.l.f. Instant Lift Brow Pencil. Can I click on a photo? How do you click on a photo so you can look at it on your phone?
I don't think you can.
Really? Ah, what happened? Images. Yeah, it's the e.l.f. Instant Lift Brow Pencil. Dual-ended. So one side has like a brush on it, or a spoolie, and the other side is the twist up. So that's one of my favorite drugstore eyebrow pencils. And then the other one, just in case you guys are like, how do you go back? Then we'll go ESS, Essence Eyebrow Pencil. Looks like they already knew what I was going to look for. The Essence one, oh, it's taking me to a website. What? Eyebrow Designer Pencil. Just looks like this. And it's one of my favorites. I do need to get a new shade. Thank you. That's the correct shade for me. Now, I do have another one that I really like, and it's from Revlon. No, it's not Revlon. It's Rimmel. Brow Pro Micro. I just panned one a couple of days ago, so this is a new one, unused. But I don't want to use this one because I have another one that I'm currently using that I like, but it's not a favorite. This is the Rimmel Brow Pro Micro Ultra Fine Precision Pencil. And this one's in the shade Soft Brown. So it has like a pink spoolie on one end, and it's fine. Like I zip through my eyebrows fast regardless, but this is it's a favorite. Definitely a repurchase. And then the last brow product that is a favorite, because I find it does what it says. It's the Milani Stay Put Brow Color. I have the shade 3 medium brown. It's a pomade. And I'm finishing this one up. I do have another pomade, but I don't want to have 2 pomades open at once because they do dry out. But yeah, I like this one. The color works for me. Sometimes I do put a little bit too much on, but it works. For eyeliners, I do pencils. 2 that are favorites are the Rimmel, the Scandaleyes 24-hour. It's in the shade 3 brown. I really like this one. It's nice and creamy. It stays on. Doesn't seem to go anywhere on me. And then I also like these Essence Stay and Play Gel Eyeliner. They're waterproof. The 2 colors that I have, because I like them both, is Very Berry. So it's kind of like this purple shade. And then we have Stardust Love, which is like this well, it's kind of like blue-gray. I don't know. Anyways. Favorites. I need my glasses. This look is up on my channel. It's look number 6. I have 5 different videos this week where I did a completely different look each day using the new Ensley Rain Lighten Your Eyes palette. So, and just in case you ask, like, hey, what's your makeup? There's a video posted. I do feel like I want my glasses on. Sorry for the glare. Okay. I'm doing this based on the order that I tend to do my makeup on, so technically I should have left the face powder till last. Hopefully I'm not missing anything. So, favorite cream bronzers. I was going to show you guys a favorite cream contour, but if I'm being honest, the 2 cream contours I'm using right now, I'm still debating if they are favorites or not, because one of my favorite cream contour products, which I used it up, was the Fenty cream contour stick in the shade Amber. And it's kind of expensive Canadian, so with not a whole lot of product in it. So I decided to buy 2 other cream contour sticks and test those out and use those up, which I have been doing, to see if one or both will be replacement for the Fenty one. I do like the 2 that I'm using, but I'm still in the back of my mind thinking I might go back down the road and repurchase the Fenty stick in Amber. So I'm not going to show you guys a favorite contour stick, because right now I said the 2 that I have I do like, I just don't know what they're favorites. I do have 2 favorite cream bronzers though. Actually they're both repurchases, but one's a repurchase of a different color. This one's a repurchase because I used up like completely pan one already, and this one has a pan in it. It's the Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpt Transforming Skin Enhancer in the shade Light. Yeah, like my second one. I really like this. It's thin, it's blendable, you can build it up, but yeah. I don't want to give like a long hee-haw about it. The Rare Beauty bronzing sticks. I have this one in the shade Bright Side, which I also use it in the same spots that I would use this if I'm not using. I use one or the other. This one's in Bright Side. I did have another color called Happy Soul, but I gave that one to my daughter, and I bought this one because I really, really like the formula of these Rare Beauty sticks. And this one, I am down to there. The other one's probably, I used a fair amount of the other one too, and then my daughter said she wanted it instead of me tossing it. The coloring of the other one works, but I like the coloring of this one better on myself. I think these are worth the money, and you do get a good amount of product, because you don't have to use a lot of product. Like, they're still, for the price, I feel like Rare Beauty bronzing stick is where it's at. Like, if I found it too expensive for this because there's not a whole lot of product in this, I'd say go get the Rare Beauty one. I'm just as equally happy about that. For bronzers, I do have a good amount of bronzers, but I was like, your top two, Tammy, your top two. And as much as I like the other bronzers I have in my collection, these are my two favorites. We have the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Bronzer in the shade 200 Fair. I don't pack on my bronzer, so actually some of my makeup, you're going to see it and be like, wow, it looks like you didn't touch it. I use all of my makeup. I go through all of it. I don't make messes with my stuff for the most part. I go in gently. I know, like, some people just go in and like, well, it's your makeup, mess it up. It's just, I don't know. I don't do that. This is the shade 200 Fair. This one kind of looks like it has a crater starting, so I'm hoping this is the year that this one gets fully panned. It needs to, because I feel like with the big fluffy brush that I use, it's all taking my product from the middle, and I'm getting, what do you call it, hard pan around here. So what I might do is go around just around the edge here and lift it up and try and get my, what do you call it? Try and take my brush through here more to like even out how this is going down. This one's my favorite, and my other favorite one is the Maybelline City Bronzer. It says bronzer and contour powder, and this one's in the shade 100. It's the lightest shade. Package looks like this. This one, I put my brush in here. I don't know, it's like the shape. This is all seems to be going down much more evenly. There's no hard pan in this one. This one looks a bit more warmer, and this one a bit more cool tone, but I like both equally as much. You can kind of tell there. I use the lightest shades for a lot of stuff, and these two work for me. Like, if I'm going to recommend bronzers, because I do have high-end bronzers, but if I'm going to recommend bronzers, they're going to be these two from the drugstore. All right. Some of this is embarrassing. Let's do mascara next. Because the three mascaras that stood out to me this year that I found myself gravitating towards the most, one is a repurchase. Actually, two of these are a repurchase, I believe. This is a repurchase. This is the Sephora Love the Lift. I'm not going to open this one because this is my new one. I already used up one of these and I like it. This brush reminds me of the Tower 28 brush, which I did have that mascara, and I'm thinking, like, for some reason I was like, oh, I don't get the hype about it, blah 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 blah. There's also an e.l.f. mascara. It's the black one with the pink cap. It's like dupes. It's like they're all copycats of the Benefit Roller Lash mascara. I feel like this also kind of reminds me of that. And I was like, oh, I don't like Roller Lash. I don't really fussy the Tower 28. The e.l.f. one's kind of blah, but this is exactly like them, and I don't know what it is about this one. I know I like the coloring of the pack, because it's like purple and teal, and I like how it looks. This reminds me so much of those mascaras that I just named off. It actually reminds me of another one that's a favorite as well. It's not clumpy. It gives me just enough lash that it's like, it doesn't give me like voluminous lashes. If you're like me, you just want some mascara on so that you can see your eyelashes. Like, I don't need big, thick, fluffy, here to the heavens kind of lashes. I just need something that gives me lashes, that doesn't make a mess, it doesn't flake. This doesn't make a mess, it doesn't flake, it doesn't clump. Quiet back there. But yeah, that's a favorite. Another favorite is this one. I feel like since I bought this one, it's also Sephora, I keep wanting to use this one over other mascaras. It's the Sephora Size Up Mascara. Volume Extra Large. That's not English. Immediate Supersized Volume. This one I can show you because this one is opened. There's nothing special or spectacular about the brush, but I don't get it on my eyelids. It doesn't flake. It isn't goopy or anything like that. It goes on my lashes and I like how it looks. They're not heavy or that. So that's a favorite. And then another favorite mascara is the Essence Lash Like a Boss. And again, this is like just like that Sephora Love the Lift. It's like a very similar style brush. Like it reminds me of the e.l.f. and the Benefit Roller Lash and the Tower 28. Yeah, this is I'm pretty sure this one is a repurchase, possibly. If it isn't, it's definitely going to be a repurchase after I use that one up. And all the mascaras I get are just either black or black brown. Where do we go next? Oh my. I feel like I want to leave my favorite eyeshadows for the end. I used a lot of eyeshadow this year. Which category has the least amount of stuff? I was gonna say highlighter. Okay, we'll do highlighter next. My favorite liquid highlighter is the Rare Beauty in the shade Enlighten. A little goes a long way, and I'll probably have this forever. I do mix this with liquid blushes. Alright, that was easy. Highlighters. I have more highlighters out than I thought I was going to. But these are my favorites. Starting with Kylie. This is the Kylighter in the shade 40, Princess Please. It looks like this pink. I feel like the lighting will reflect off of it, but it's like this very light pink. There's no shimmer, no sparkle. It just creates a nice wet look, in my opinion. And actually, that's what a lot of the highlighters that aren't my favorites do. They just give me like a nice glow without sparkle or glitter. That's what I look for in a good highlighter, for what I like. Highlighters that I do have, that I do like, but aren't included in here, are because I like them more so as eyeshadow toppers, or in the rare occurrence that I want a highlighter that does have some color to it. But that's number one. Number two is this iconic London one. It's the Lit and Luminous Baked Highlighter in the shade Universal. And same thing, it's glowy. It's glowy. It's right here. There's no sparkle, no shimmer. It's just, it gives me a nice glow. This one's more of a, it's darker in tone than the Kylie one. Like the Kylie one's like a super, super duper light pink, and this one's more like champagne. Anyways, I have 3 of this one. So these are Rare Beauty highlighters, not the blush lighters. We're gonna call them the highlighters. I like these on my cheeks, on my eyes. We have the shade Exhilarate. Looks like this. I'm not going to swatch everything, but I do think you guys might want to see the difference. So we have Exhilarate right there. That kind of is almost the similar shade to that iconic London one I just showed you. We have Enlighten, which is probably my most used one. Like this one's almost flat now. These break easily, so I do store mine carefully. This one's Enlighten, so you can see that one's more like a white almost, or a pearl. And then the newest one is Mesmerize. This one looks like this. This one's like a rose gold. And again, I like these for my cheeks and my eyes, and as you can see there, See that? So pretty. I like them. Why? Because they give me exactly what I want. Glow. They're glowy. They're not sparkly. They're not shimmery. That's what I want in a highlighter. I love sparkles on my eyes, not my cheeks. Between the 3 shades that I have, I guess it would depend on your skin tone. I feel like my favorite is Enlighten. And then the other 2. But again, though, I use them cheeks and eyes. These need to go up here where they're safe because those do break easily. Alright, then we have this one, which I'm surprised. I didn't think I was going to like this one as much as I do. But I grabbed for this one just as much as I do as my iconic London one. This is the Give Beauty Check My Glow Platinum Cowgirl. It looks like a Physicians Formula highlighter. Smells good. And that just reminded me of something, which I'll tell you guys in a minute. I do got a mess on this. This one's also very glowy. I swirl my highlighter brush all through here. It's a glowy highlighter. Glowy, no sparkle, no shimmer. It's what I like. What I just thought of was the cream contour and powder bronzer that Give Beauty has. I had it. Mine hit hard pan. If it would not have hit hard pan, that would be in today's video, but I tossed it. That would have been in today's video for favorite powder bronzer and favorite cream bronzer / contour. Excellent product. What she needs to do, which I've said before, is come out with a compact like this, one that's just a powder bronzer and then one with just a cream bronzer. They will sell. They will sell. It's that good. Alright, what's unexpected are... These are highlighters. I use them as blush toppers, but because they're highlighters, we're including them. I like these so much. I did not think I was going to. I like them so much, I plan on buying a few more this year. Because not only are these fantastic as blushes on their own, highlighters, but they're great for eyeshadow looks too. And these are the, are you sleeping? I heard snoring. These are the Haus Labs Bio Radiant Gel Powder Highlighter in the shade Rose Quartz and Fire Opal. These are great. You might be like, wow, those are something. When I say I don't really like color highlighters, these are the exception. I really like both of these so much. And I'm excited and looking forward to getting a few more shades of these. Again, if you have these and you're like, it's too much for my cheeks, do an eye look with them. I'm telling you, you're gonna like it. Don't fall off the edge. Okay, so the blush category. This is a mixture of new and old. And we're gonna start with Cover FX. I barely hear anybody talking about these. Every year I pull these out. It looks like I haven't even made a dent in these. Maybe one's more than the other, but you only need such little product. These are the Cover FX Monochromatic Blush Duo. One side's matte, one side shimmer. I have Mojave Mauve, which I like using this one all year round. But when I want something a little spicy, we have Spiced Cinnamon. Literally, these are so good. A little goes a long way. You want to go a little warm tone? Pull out this one. Cool tone? Pull out this one. And again, you could do monochromatic and do these on your cheeks and your eyes. Like, so good. So good. Sephora doesn't sell these anymore. I'll be keeping these forever until I use them up. A brand that I never thought I was going to try, let alone like, was the REM Beauty. And one of their products that I really like is their Satin Matte blushes. I like them that I bought 2 shades. They have a few shades, but I only bought the shades I knew I would use. And I like both of these. We have Rose on Mars, which looks like this, and we have Skinny Dip. These ones are both, they're both cool tone neutral. I like both. If you haven't tried these, try them out. A little goes a long way. These actually surprised me how much I like those. Elf. I have several of these. I picked my favorite shade of the ones I have though. It's the Elf. I don't have several shades. I have two. I just was like, Tammy, this is not the right product. The Elf Luminous Putty Blush. This is in the shade Maui. This one, again, you don't need a lot. I use a stippling brush in here. This is a very good one. This is a good one if you don't really know what you want to do for your blush, or you're not sure about the overall makeup look you're going to do. I will use this and put it on because it's like a neutral kind of to me. It's not warm, but it's not cool. It's neutral. And then I top it off with whatever powder blush I want. These are good. I do have another shade that's quite bright, but that one's my favorite between the two. Speaking of Elf, I have several of these, but I picked two of my favorites. These are the Elf Camo Liquid Blushes. One is in Suave Mauve, which I do have on today underneath a powder blush. And then this other one is something nude. No, it's not nude. Dusty Rose. Dusty Rose and Suave Mauve. A little goes a long way. I will do a dot of this and then a dot of liquid highlighter, blend it out, and then top it off with a powder blush and powder highlighter. These are really good. Really good. They're up there with the Rare Beauty, which I have two full size and one mini. These are, I don't want to say they're better than the Elf. I feel like they're both on par with each other. What it is the colors. They have different colors. So I have the shade Grace and I have the shade Encourage. And again, a little goes a long way. Just do a little dot of this, dot of liquid highlighter, and blend it out. The staying power for both the Rare Beauty and the Elf is so similar, because I've never witnessed or noticed either one wearing off before washing my makeup off at the end of the day. All right, another one. This is another REM Beauty product. This is a cheek and lipstick. It's a cream stick. It's in the shade Opening Night. I really like this. You get a lot of product in here. A little goes a long way. I'm not going to roll it up all the way. Have I used it on my lips? I normally just do swipe on my cheeks and blend it out. There are other shades. This is the only shade though that I knew I would use. I liked it. I like it. It's a favorite. To think of the things that haven't made it into this is a bit weird. This is Pat McGrath. Pat McGrath, this is a Legendary Glow Color Balm in the shade Divine Rose. You probably could use it on your cheeks too. I do have that much product used. I like this one. It's super thin, and I just, again, swipe it on my cheeks, blend it out. It stays. I have no complaints. When I want a color like this, it's what I use. Yeah. Lasting power is good. Quo Beauty. This is a Canadian brand. It's a cheek and lip multi-stick. Again, I use it on my cheeks, and it's in rosy brown. I used that much. If you know a color that's like this, hit me up. Doesn't matter if it's high end, low end. I gotta show it to you. See, I'm looking for lip products in this color. I'm looking for powdered blushes in this color. I'm looking for other cream and liquid blushes in this color. I'm looking for eyeshadow in this color. I'm looking for an eyeliner in this color. It's a rosy brown. if you know, please contact me down in my comment section and let me know. Love it, love it, love it, love it. If you can get your hands on this, it's from Quo Beauty, Rosy Brown. Get it, get it, get it. It's just one of those colors. Love it. All right. This is a brand I just tried out this year, and it's RMS Beauty. And these are the Redimension Hydra Powder Blushes. We have Hanky Panky and Sangria. I really, really enjoy these. They're pigmented. This one's Sangria. They're pigmented. They're glowy. A little goes a long way. They're buildable. This is Hanky Panky. You can pop them out so that when you use it up, instead of buying like the whole compact again, you just buy the refills, which are cheaper. There's plenty of shades, which I will probably down the road pick up a few more shades. I don't want to own the whole collection, but a few more. These are great. It's they're great. It's like a blush slash highlighter in one. It's more blush than glow, but there's glow. They're awesome. The NARS, what is this? I'm pretty sure, is this a matte one? This one just says blush. This is in the shade Behave. When I want like a very basic blush, like say for instance, I'm using the, what did I call this? What shade is this? Oh dear Lord. Say I'm using Dusty Rose. This is the blush that I would go over it with. Or say I'm using the Maui one, I would go over it with this one. Something that's on par color-wise to it. But this is in the shade Behave, and this is the only powdered blush that I have in a shade and tone like this. Which also coincides with this. I have several Makeup by Mario cream blushes. This is my favorite color that I have though. It's the Makeup by Mario Soft Pop Plumping Blush Veil in Barely Blushing. This is the one I use the most, and it's my favorite one. And this NARS blush is also what I would top this off. So it's Barely Blushing. And then I would top it off with the NARS blush in the shade Behave. Of course, there's plenty of times I've used other blushes in different tones and shades to go over this with. But this is what I would normally go over it with. I like how thin and buildable the Makeup by Mario Soft Pop Plumping products are. We're almost done blush. My next is the Lawless Pinch My Cheeks Soft Blur Cream Blushes in Rosebud and Angel. Yes, both are my favorites. They look very similar. They both go on so nicely. One, to me, looks more cool toned. One's more warm toned. And again, this one kind of reminds me of that. This is the one in Angel. It kind of reminds me of Barely Blushing a little bit. This one's a bit more pink to it, but so similar in color. But this is another one where I would take this NARS blush and go over it with. Or I would use I think Sangria. No, it might not be Sangria. Yeah, I would also go over it with Sangria. But yeah, these Lawless Pinch My Cheek blushes, they literally are cream to powder. And they stay put. They're pretty. They do look kind of blurring. I really like them. They have other shades, colors, tones. I think there's like only one more that I'd want. Because again, I'm not about buying the entire line of something. I'm about buying the shades that I know I'm actually going to use and wear. I do have another NARS blush, but I haven't used it, I think, yet. Or if I did, it was like once or twice. And then the last for the blushes, I know you guys are like, hey, wait a minute. We know these are her favorites. Kosas. I'm so happy. think it was over the summer or early fall, and I was like, man, it's just blush, 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 blush everywhere. You guys see my blush collection? I talk a lot of smack about us having too much blush for somebody who has too much blush, but you can never have enough blush, okay? I was like, man, when's the blush gonna stop? Like, when are we gonna get new things? And then I'm like, man, give me all the blush. And of course, Kosas came out with their blushes. These are these all called Blushes Life? Yeah, so they're all called Blushes Life. We have the shades, well, I have the shade Swoon, which is like described as a pinky brown. Excellent. We have the shade Euphoria. And then we have the shade, I can't remember what Euphoria, what the tone of that one was. And then we have Dreamland, which is like a rosy bronze. I like all three shades. And again, like these blushes, a little goes a long way. They are baked formula. And I think there's only one more shade that I would actually use, but I'm in no rush because I have a lot of blush that I'm trying to use up. But these I go over like my cream and liquid blushes with these. These are excellent. Do you need every shade? No. I'm not going to own every shade. If I do get any more, it's one more shade that I know I will use. Otherwise, I'll use these up and then repurchase these three shades when they're empty. If they're still around. Okay. This seems like a lot. We're going on the lip products. First things first, Buxom. I really, really like Buxom glosses, but I decided to pick my favorite color, and it's the color Dolly. I have this one and I have a mini. All right, glad to have that out of the way. I don't want to do a lot of talking, even though I've already been doing a lot of talking. Okay, I just grabbed a handful of these because I was kind of like at my lip drawers, and I was like, oh, grab Fenty gloss bombs. I have 4 here. I feel like you can't go wrong with Fenty gloss bombs. They smell delicious. I not only just like the Fenty gloss bombs, I also like the cream formula too. They smell good. They're pretty colors. They're like juicy. They don't dry my lips out. Like, because that's what it comes down to me for lip products. Do they dry my lips out? Do they smell good? Fenty all the way. Okay. Another one. Although I will say I do regret one of these shades, but I like the formula. And that's Lawless Forget to Filler. I have 4 here. Only one I regret buying. It's the shade Candy Sky. It's too metallic. I'll find a way to use it up. But my favorite shade is Velvet. This is a repurchased one, and this one's down here. I probably will repurchase this one. And then I have the shades Lavender and Maple Sugar. They're good. If I was to only buy one color, though, I think it would be Velvet over and over and over again. Good formula. I like how it makes my lips look smooth and not dry. It's not sticky. I will say, though, that there are other glosses that have made their way to the favorites, too. Surprisingly, which I did not think it would. It doesn't outshine, but I could see this one outshining Lawless Forget the Filler, at least for me. And that's the Huda Faux Filler Glosses. I have the shade Bombshell and Posh. These smell good. These feel thin. They feel thinner than the Lawless glosses. I think one of my friends said she doesn't find that to be the case, or she didn't think it would. I can't remember if she said she tried these ones or not. But I was telling her, like, yeah, to me, I feel like these ones feel thinner, but they do the same thing. They smooth out my lips. Like, my lips look nice with these on. And these are my 2 favorite colors. I will definitely repurchase these 2 colors again. Same with the Lawless and the shade Velvet. Like, They don't dry my lips out. They reapply nicely. A Burt's Bees Tinted Lip Balm, specifically in the shade Red Dahlia. This is my favorite lip balm and color. This one is, I'm on the very end, like that, gotta go way down there. Red Dahlia. And this is one of those things, if I'm not too sure what I want to wear on my lips to work, I throw this in my apron and go. Red Dahlia. It's excellent. Okay. Sephora Lip Sleeping Mask. I like this better than the Laneige Lip Sleeping Glowy Mask. This is the Sephora Lip Sleeping Mask in Hot Cocoa. I do have a backup one of this when this one's almost done, because there was a point in time where the Hot Cocoa one was sold out or out of stock for a very long time. Then it came back in stock, so I bought another one. This one's so good. If you like Hot Cocoa, you'll like that. Alright, holy moly. This has taken longer than I thought it would. Let's show some lipsticks. For lipsticks, there's only 2 brands of lipsticks that I like the formula of, really, and it's Revlon is one of them. We have Revlon, what's the exact names? Well, one says cream, one says pearl, and one says shine. I have classic rum raisin in the shine formula. Excellent, excellent, excellent. I like how smooth and thin that feels. And then we have 420 blushed. Looks like this. And then we have 130 Rose Velvet, and it looks like this. This one, I got some fuzz balls on it. They're all colors. They look kind of similar. I like the formula of Revlon lipsticks. They go on nice. They wear off nicely. Some more lip gloss. Pat McGrath. I am sad to say Pat McGrath is leaving Sephora. I'm in Canada, which means if I'm going to want Pat McGrath ever again, I'm going to have to order from the Pat McGrath website. That's a boo-hoo for me, because this is one of my favorite lip glosses. This shade specifically, but now this shade. The Lust Gloss in Divine Rose. This is a repurchase. I feel like in my mind I might be like, oh, I need to make these last as long as possible, but you know what? No. I'm going to enjoy them. When I use them up, I say, thank you for being part of my collection. Maybe I'll have to go on the Pat McGrath website and reorder you both. The other one is in the shade Flesh 4. If you like a pinky brown, you will like this. It's a little on the dark side, but it's a darker pinky brown, and I really like it. And I like this formula. It wears off nicely. It's thin. It's not goopy. It isn't sticky. Smells good. Like really good. Like sweet. And yeah. A lip product that I'm shocked has become a favorite. I think I have another one somewhere. I have a mini and I have 3 full size. It's the Rare Beauty Tinted Lip Oils. These do tint. I've done swatches on my hand, and then like I showered in that, scrubbed, and they were still there. We have the shade Delight, Hope, Wonder, and a mini Enjoy. Nope, sorry, Happy. I like these. I even take these to work, and they wear off nicely. They wear off nicely because they're tinted lip oils, because they don't say stains, right? No, just tinted lip oils, but they stain the lips. But they don't stain them bright. They stain them so that there's still some color there. And then if you want, just go reapply. I mean, so nice. They don't dry my lips out because they do leave color behind. I feel like I don't rush to go and reapply anything because they don't dry my lips out. I don't feel like I go rush to reapply anything. Like, this will be one of those products I will repurchase. I mean, all of these I will repurchase. Maybe not the same colors, but yes, please. Then we have e.l.f. Glow Reviver Lip Oil. I have the shade, I think it's Rose. I can't read the bottom. Easy to put on. Nice moisturization. Not thick, not goopy, not sticky. It's a good lip oil. Another one that has become a favorite is the Clarins Lip Comfort Oil in the shade Cherry. I'm gonna be repurchasing both of these. I want to see if I can get this one in a different color, like a berry shade. Same with this one. I will rebuy the cherry shade, and then there's also a berry shade that I would like to get for that. So good. If you have the money to spend, I'd say go buy yourself one of these. If you're on a budget, go buy this, because they're both just as good. And then lastly for lips, Merit lipsticks. I, generally speaking, am not a huge lipstick wearer, but when Tammy's like, that's me, I want to wear a lipstick, I'm either grabbing for one of my Revlon ones or I'm grabbing for Merit. I like how these feel. I've got the shade Baby, which some of mine are melted and messy. We have Baby. I like the colors too. Millennial. I can't roll them up too far because some of mine, like I said, they've melted. Black Tie. This one's a newer one to me. Du Jour. This one's like a bomb, which is awesome. And Bespoke. These are good. Again, they're not thick. I feel like they're a nice thin formula. They are pigmented. You can build them up. They're lightweight. They're not drying. They don't at least, oh my gosh. They at least do not dry out my lips. Again, I'll say it time and time again. For a lot of things when it comes to my lips and my face, if it dries me out, it's adios. I don't know. There's whatever they have in these Merit lipsticks, I just really, really enjoy them. I also enjoy the packaging. I feel like they're classy looking. Not that I'm classy, but they're aesthetically pleasing also to look at. And yeah, I haven't had an issue with any of them. All 5 of the colors that I have work on me for different looks. Even like no makeup days where I just do my eyebrows and mascara. Whip out one of those, throw it on. Good to go. Alright, now we got down to the eyeshadows. This one was a tough one. Reason being because this year especially, you might be like, oh, I haven't seen you use that. I mean, if we go back to last November till now, I've been in every single eyeshadow palette that I have. So I was like, how am I supposed to decide? And I thought to myself, I need to decide based on the palettes. For me to figure out my favorites, it's got to be palettes that I continuously go back to, palettes that I reference, palettes that I've created some of my favorite eye looks with. And I was like, that'll make it a lot easier for me because I have a lot of favorites, but I want to narrow it down, okay? So we're going to start with some of my smaller ones. First things first, being this ColourPop Super Shock Shadow in the shade Haze. It's so basic, but it's like a white eyeshadow, but it has like a pink purple shift to it, and I feel like this one's just an easy eyeshadow to put on its own and blend out, or like throw some other shadows on and then put this on as a topper. It's a very basic eyeshadow, but whenever I've used this one, I've liked the looks a lot. This one, I was surprised that I actually liked it. I think there's like a whole week or a couple of days in a row where I used this palette. It's the e.l.f. Perfect 10 Nude Rose Gold. And I really like this one a lot. It isn't super shimmery at all. In fact, it's barely shimmery, barely sparkly. But the eye looks that I've done with this palette just look really put together. They look flawless. They look easy. They look like I did put some effort into it, even though I didn't. e.l.f. does have another 10 pan palette coming out that looks almost like it's in this format, but it looks like the Makeup by Mario Ethereal palette. I will pick that up when that's out. I recommend these e.l.f. but even though I only have this one, I would definitely buy more because the formula is really good. Then we have the CoverGirl Clean Color. This one, it's so basic. It's shimmering beige. So basic. I'm gonna say this, even though this one only has one matte, the matte in here is really, really good. And then you have 3 shimmers, or technically 1 shimmer and 2 what look like satins. Again, it's one of those palettes. It's so easy to use. It blends really nicely. Like, it looks like you put effort into your eye look without putting much effort into your eye look. I do actually have one of these coming in a different shade from Amazon because I don't know, there's something about the formula of this that I really like. Like, it's so easy, no thought to it. Natasha Denona, I think only 3 of her palettes made it into my favorites for the year. I mean, Natasha Denona has one of my favorite eyeshadow formulas, but if I look at what I have and what, if I would only keep 3 of her palettes, well, the 3 that I would keep are in this. I'll show you the 2 minis right now, and then I'll show you the bigger one later. The mini Starlight and the mini Rose. I realized that I think we all know I'm a neutral girl, what pops of color. But when I say neutral too, I don't just mean browns and golds and stuff like that. I'm also meaning pinks and mauves and peach. Like, I kind of consider peach and pink mauve tones neutral as well. And these 2 are just so pretty. Use them on their own, use them together, use them with another palette. The looks that I've created with these palettes, I liked a lot. And yeah, so out of all the minis that I have, these are my 2 favorite. Yeah, I think I could be, yeah, yep. All right. Next, we have the Huda Nude Lights. This one's kind of along the same lines of like neutral, but like pink, peachy. Every look that I create with this palette, I liked. Again, it's a basic palette. It's not super sparkly, shimmery, but it gives you enough to create a very pretty, beautiful eye look. I really like it. Same with the Huda Matte palette. This one is Cool Matte Obsessions. I was surprised that I actually like this palette. I've used this one on its own and with other palettes, and that just made me realize, no, I did. It's here. There's another palette that I also enjoy using this one with, which I'll show you in a minute. But I don't know, I was surprised how much I actually like this palette because it has creams in there. And I'm not really one for using cream on my eyes. But I made it work, and I'm looking forward to continuing using this one. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, I think I want to use that palette with this one. Yeah. All right. I guess we're going to be on the ABH wagon for a bit. I will say ABH is another one of those formulas. Even though the formula is way different than Natasha Denona, I really, really like ABH formula. These are newer, but again, I was like, what? Okay, this one was a no-brainer, the ABH Spice palette. I've used this palette on its own. I've used it with other palettes. This is just a really nice palette. You can go super light, you can go dark, you can smoky, not smoky. Like, this is a good one. Very good. I'm so glad that she came out with this palette this year. It's a good one. I don't know how many times I can say it's a good one. I feel like the ones that I have here as my favorites, again, I have lots of palettes. But I like what I like, and these are my favorites. I think I could probably get rid of, without being like, Oh my god, I could probably get rid of the rest of my makeup and keep just what I'm showing you in this video and be completely content. I'm not going to, but I could. The Sugar palette. This one was one I was like, I bought it because it was pretty, okay? And I was like, I'm probably not gonna like it that much. I like it a lot, and it's this one. Every look that I've created with this Sugar palette, I have liked. I've used this palette on its own. I've used it with other palettes. It's such a pretty palette, and especially for someone who's solely likes neutral looks with pops of color. This is that neutral palette with pops of color because the colors are not so bright. And one of my favorite shades is the blue shade that's in here because it's blue and it's purple, like it shifts. I don't know if you're able to tell. See how it turns purple? Like blue and then purple? Like, yes, please. And like, this is a matte, but do you see the shift? It looks brown. So at the angle I'm looking at, it's brown with like green sparkles. But as soon as I turn it, it's burgundy with like purple pink sparkles. It's crazy how it shifts. This matte is like a cool tone matte brown with blue sparkles in it. It's just, it's such a pretty palette. This one probably is what surprised me the most. I feel like I'm gonna eat those words and see another palette here that's I'm gonna say this one surprised me the most. But this one really surprised me how much I like it. And it's good old ABH formula. Do we stick on the ABH bandwagon? Because I think we're going to. I do have a few more ABH palettes that are right up there. Okay, there's only one that I'm not including because it's not a favorite. I like it, but it's not one where I'm like, oh, I really want to use that palette. These are the ones that I'm like, two of these are repurchases because other ones were messy or old or I gave away and then I missed having them. So we have the Soft Glam. This is a... It's literally the title for this one, Soft Glam, is the correct name because every look I get with this one is soft. It is glammy. It's pretty. This is good fall, winter, spring, summer, all year round. It's a good one. And I would, once again, repurchase it. Again, those are gone. It's just wrappers. Grace went to grab one of these, but they're gone. Throughout today, I was like doing stuff and like grabbing one and eating it. They're good. Another goodie one, Modern Renaissance. This is also a repurchase. This one kind of reminds me of Soft Glam, but more burgundy. I guess I can show you guys. I don't think you need both. I definitely didn't need to repurchase both. But you see how like kind of similar they are? Just that this one has some burgundy purple shades in it. If I could only choose one though, I probably would Soft Glam. But the Renaissance one I just like so much too. I don't know what the brush for this one's actually in my brush holder. This one I like because that burnt orange shade's one of my favorites. Same with the Realgar shade down here. And then of course the Buon Fresco and Tempera. And then, I mean, so many shades. I might end up using one of these palettes tomorrow. If you guys don't have these, maybe consider getting them when they're on sale. And I like how these ones feel. These are like, they're not new ABH, they're old. But they, like, even though the formula is powdery, the looks do come out pretty. And at least on me, soft looking, like not patchy or anything. Two that are newer, and that I did find myself throughout this year hauling out and using and really liking my looks, is the Nouveau palettes. Looks like this. And again, it's like neutral with pops of color. This one does have more green in it, and I normally don't go green. But I like the tones of green that this one has in it, especially these two up here. And yeah, the shade Fleur and Metro kind of remind me of the shades in Modern Renaissance that I like. Those orangey colors. And then Cosmos. This is like neutral, what pops of color. Again, I was like, I bought it because of how pretty it was. I'm glad I bought it. Because again, the looks I've created with this, I've liked. And this is one of those palettes that I also use it with other palettes. See that one, Shifty? Really good. Yeah.
This smells like pure baby oil.
That's okay.
I'm taking it out for a bit because it's...
That's fine. Alright, next. I have 3 of these. I had 4. One I decluttered because I wasn't a fan of the color story and I want someone else to use it. One I still have, but it's not a favorite color story-wise. But it's the new Revolution Icon palettes. We have the True Icon, which looks like a Patrick Ta dupe. This one here. I like the looks that I've created of this one. Like, some of my favorite looks were created with these palettes. They're not expensive. They're from the drugstore. They have a row of mattes, a row of shimmer, and then 2 creams. And yeah, the looks I've done with this one have been really good. Same with this one, the Eternal Icon. This one's more, it's neutral, but with the greens in it. Again, there's like mattes, shimmers, and then of course, the 2 creams down here. And the looks that I've created with this one, I also really, really liked. So that's also like how this favorite is going. It's the palettes where I created looks that I really, really, really liked. And palettes that I reached back and forth for throughout the year. This one, Glamlite, the Chocolate Martini Dark Chocolate Premium. This is what, again, neutral, it pops of color. It's matte and shimmer. The only ones that I don't really like in here are these 2 golds, but the rest of the palette I used. Because I'm not really a fan of these 2 colors. And this one is a palette that I use on its own for the most part. Sometimes other colors. I really like this one right here. And this pink one. But I barely ever brought another palette in to use it this one. This one was mostly used solo, and I liked every look I created with it. This one's super dark, and I'm surprised by how much I like this one, but it's the Glamlite Chucky palette. I will say some of my looks looked kind of muddy, but because it's a dark palette, a smoky palette, I ended up liking the looks. It's very plummy purple, I would say. Because when you look at it, like, this is a purple, that's a purple, that's a purple, purple. This is like a dark silver purple. These are both kind of purple red. I don't know. This was some of my favorite looks created with this palette this year, especially for it being so dark and grungy, which is not my go-to. Another palette, again, I looked at the ones that I have from this brand and I was like, there was only one that I truly create some of my favorite looks with. It's going to be the Blend Bunny Cosmetics Longing palette. This is a good palette. It's cool toned, and even though it's colors, I feel like it's, because they're muted, I would consider it neutral. I like the shimmers in here. My favorite one is probably this one right here. Yeah, I think I did a whole week with this palette. I did 1 palette, 6 looks. And there was only one, I think, that I didn't like that much. Maybe 2 looks. But like the other 4 looks I did with this palette, I really, 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 really liked. Like, it was my favorite. The formula is really good, too. So, yay for Blend Bunny. I would buy this one again if I lost that one or needed to replace it. This one, I went in store, swatched it, came home, ordered it. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Beautyverse Love Palette. This is, I can't even explain this formula. It's like cream to powder or something. The looks that I've created with this, I have liked a lot. I've even used this palette with, what did I use this with? I think I've also used that one with the Huda palette. So I used it on its own a couple of times, and then I mixed it with this one to create looks. This palette, yeah, this is one that actually surprised me too. So it wasn't just this one that surprised me this year of how much I like it. This one surprised me of how much I like it too. I need to use it again. This one stays at, I mean, all these ones that are right here I'm talking about, they stay at my desk permanently. Alright, I know not everybody's a fan of this person, Kylie, but I have a couple of her palettes. I like all her palettes, but one of them is particularly my most favorite. And it's the, darn it, it's her Mauves palette. It's neutral, but it's like neutral pink. So pretty. Like I said, I like all of her palettes that I have because I have 2 others. This one's like my top favorite though. So pretty. It's like matte and shimmers and it's pinky mauve neutral. So good. Makeup by Mario. I reach for these 2 to use with other palettes all the time. The Master Mattes, the neutrals, and the original. If I need a matte that's like in this general area of colors, I grab the original. If I need matte that's cooler toned, I go for this one. So these were great ideas. You don't have to have these ones. I'm pretty sure you could probably find palettes at the drugstore that are all matte. I would at least hope you can, that you could use, because they do come in handy. And of course, the Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes. This will always be a favorite. This one has dips in several of the shades, and I'm trying to like take my time using it, but I want to get myself in the mindset. Don't be scared to use your stuff up, because even if it's limited edition and you can't get it anymore, you'll probably find something else that you end up liking just as much, if not more. This is a favorite. It's always going to remain a favorite. It's like Glammy Tammy in a palette. Alright, these will also shock me. Okay, not will. They have also shocked me of how much I like them. These are the What's Up Beauty palettes. We have Desert Monsoon and Dragon Eye. These are colorful palettes, but let me tell you, every look that I've created with these palettes, whether they were solo, whether I create looks solo with one palette, whether I use the 2 palettes together, whether I brought in other palettes to use with them, I have liked every single look that I've done with these palettes. They're both, to me, they're like neutral but pops of color. And they're just, again, every look that I've created, I've liked. I do like this one more, but I also like this one so much too, so they're both favorites. So good. Then we're going to go on some of my ColourPop palettes. Repurchase Wild Nothing. I know not everybody likes this one. I did. My sister bought me this one, and then I replaced it because the other one got so old. It's an easy palette to use. It's like neutral. It's a neutral palette, and I like that it's like brown, like a little mauve, some peachy orange. I like the shimmers that are in here. I would buy it again, hands down. Nude Mood. This one's so pretty. Again, it has mattes, it has shimmers. This one's like warm / neutral tones. And yeah, I don't know what to say besides it's easy to use and I've liked every look I've created with it. Same with this one here, Blush Baby, also from ColourPop. This one's more on the pinky side, so to me it's like neutral, but it's pink. And again, I like the formula. Easy to blend, easy to use, create very pretty looks. And then we have Deja Brew, another one. This one reminds me of That's Taupe one, which I no longer have because mine got so old. This one is more cool toned, but again, easy to use, the mattes and shimmers, and the looks always turn out pretty. The last palette, because I went through all mine and I was like, if I had to pick like my number 1 eyeshadow palette from Natasha Denona, because that's my favorite brand for eyeshadow formula, It's the I Need a Nude palette. Looks like this. It's neutral, but it's got like a peach in here, like this mauve, like some mauvey pinks, browns. It's cool tone, neutral, kinda. And yeah, it's like another Glammy Tammy, but in a palette. It's an awful lot like the Ethereal Eyes palette, so it's like, even when I use that one up, because I'm taking it out of my mind that I need to hold on to it and stop using it. If I use this up, Natasha Denona, this is not limited edition, so, and they are very similar. Obviously, the formulas are different, but they're so similar. You can get such similar looks between the two of them. So I'm not gonna fret about using that one up and hit and pan on the shades, because I know I have this one, and this one's not limited edition. But color story wise, yeah, this is my favorite color story from Natasha Denona. This one right here. It's so easy. So easy to use. You can get different looks. Although some of them might look similar, but you could also go into another palette and grab a color to create something different. And yeah. Oh, actually I do have a few more favorites. I figured I'd just show you guys. I have 4 scents. So one's a hair and body spray. It's Rare Beauty. I've got this much left in here. It's out of stock in store at Sephora and out of stock online. And I don't know if they're going to restock this one, because she came out with a new one, which I'm going to get the new one. But it's the Find Comfort Body and Hair Fragrance Mist. This is my favorite thing to spray before I go to bed, because it's calming, okay? It's nice, it's soft. But yeah, I've got this much left. And if it does come back in stock, I will be sure to pick another one up, because I really, really, really enjoy the scent of that. Another thing. This is probably, I was like telling Matt, if I were to sit and think about my favorite perfume that I have, it's this one here. It's Burberry. I've got this one left, this much left. I only have this much left because I've been using perfume samples to see what I like. I have some other perfumes I've been testing. As I come across something I don't like, I'm getting rid of it, like rehoming it. I feel like this is my fragrance for daytime and nighttime. It's like fruity, powdery, soft, feminine. I don't know, I really like it. I didn't think that I liked it as much as I really do, but I do. I would like to go in and smell the other ones from Burberry, because there are a few other ones out now since this one came out. But Burberry is it's my go-to. Like when I'm like, I want something, I end up going and grabbing this one and going all over. Another hair and body mist that I like, and again, I don't think Sephora sells this anymore, so it's like, what do I do? It's the Toka hair fragrance Cleopatra. As you guys can see, I have like this much. This is just gloss down here, so there's only like this much left in here, what you see right here. This is one that I spray. I like this one also at nighttime. I spray it in my hair and on my PJs. Matt's actually complimented this one. Otherwise, he tells me I don't smell good, or that stuff, the perfumes I'm wearing stink. I think he's just being an arse pick though. This one's so nice and pretty looking. Can you guys let me know? Like, I don't want to have to, if I have to order it from outside of Canada, then it's just never mind. I won't bother. But I'd like to see if I can find something similar to Toka in the scent Cleopatra. And then another one. This one, it's a perfume, but it's like a rollerball. It's a rollerball oil. I only have this much because this is glass down here, so there's that much left. It's Gloss Modern Rose Bulgare Autumn. I do have a second bottle of this because this one, I just like, I will rollerball it up my whole arms and do this, put it behind my ears, in between my boobs, stuff like that. It's a nice, soft rose scent, but it doesn't smell like cheap ass Bath and Body. I'm not saying Bath and Body Works is cheap, but you know, like their rose scented stuff, it smells like cheap roses, like fake roses. This does not smell like fake roses at all. I should have worded that better. But I will say, I don't like Bath and Body Works. I remember getting so hyped up about going there, and then once you go in places where everybody's wearing Bath and Body Works, it becomes so distinctive, and then you're like, it doesn't really smell good anymore. I feel like a lot of the Bath and Body Works stuff smells fake. I don't know. I mean, it is fake, but like the scents don't smell very good. They might for a bit, but if you want something rose, sorry guys. I know so many people are huge Bath and Body Works fans. I like their candles, but that's it. But if you want something that doesn't smell like a fake rose or imitation rose, this here, Rose Bulgare Ultim. So far, this is like the closest to me smelling an actual rose that I've come across. And I think this is where I'm going to call it done. Because this took me way longer than I wanted it to, and I didn't even swatch, and I try not to talk too much about each product. But these are my favorites of 2024. Some of it's old stuff, some of it's new. I will give 3 honorable mentions because they are new. One super new, okay? But I've used this every day for the past 6 days, I think. And I like it a lot. It's the Ensley Rain Light in Your Eyes palette. I'm not saying go out and buy it, but if it's within your means and this is your color story, you'd have to go watch all my Get Ready With Me's that I've done with this. I've done 5 looks with this week. They're all titled Ensley Rain Light in Your Eyes, Get Ready With Me, Look 1, Look 2, like... That's definitely going to be I can see that being a favorite for 2025. Another one is the Danessa Myricks Freedom palette. This also lives on my desk. It's all shimmer, except some of them look like they're satins or whatever. I like digging into this palette when I want a pop of color. It's a fun one. I'll leave it there. I'll leave that at that. And then the other one, Ensley Rain Groovy Gardens. This one also lives on my vanity. Because nowhere in my collection do I have mattes that are in these tones at all. They're so pretty, easy to work with. I've already hit pan on this shimmer. I'm about to hit pan on this shimmer here. I'll leave it at that. It's these 3 palettes are honorable mentions because I think all 3 of them are going to end up in favorites for 2025 next year. But we shall see what happens. Alright guys, thanks for watching. If you made it this far, put a chicken down in the comments, okay? My mom likes chickens. No, you know what? Rooster. Do we have rooster emojis? I don't know. Either a chicken or a rooster, okay? And let me know, what's one of your, do you have any of the same favorites as I have this year? This was mine, and again, I could be completely content if I got rid of the rest of my makeup collection and just kept what I showed you guys right here. Hands down. Alright, but I'm not going to. Matt's like, okay, go do it. Not gonna happen. I'm hoping I'm not forgetting anything. Again, I have a lot of stuff that I do like. And like a lot of stuff that I don't really have a full opinion on yet. So, alright guys, thanks for watching. Have a good one. God bless.